I just need a 3 or a 5, and I'm smooth sailing. 5!
Go back 3 spaces. Let me help you with that.
Go. That's enough. Why do you fight?
I'm angry, but I hate it. I'm not controlling my emotions. It makes me feel weak.
Good. That means we can begin.
Dude, where'd the rope even come from?
That's a good question, but I have some even better ones. First, how do we master our emotions? And second, why do men seem to be so bad at it? We're gonna answer both today, but I wanna start first with the latter. I think men struggle with these things so much, specifically in the Western world, because we've been raised to ignore this major part of our lives, right? We don't know how to traverse the realm of emotion. We're taught to be like this rock, just emotionless. And while I do think it comes from good intentions, I think it's taught and understood poorly. While it's good not to let your emotions cloud your judgment in the moment, it's also not good to bury your emotions, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
If you're someone like the guy in the beginning of the video, then here is my advice, right? I am someone who doesn't let my emotions typically dictate my actions, and that's not me bragging. I just want to give you a reason to listen to me. So what I do is when I feel an emotion, like somebody says something mean to me, right? I kind of distance myself from it. I, not consciously, but just automatically, I have my emotions here, and I have what I'm going to do here. And I kind of can see it from as if it's not me. I'm distancing myself from my emotions, making it feel like it's not me. It's what I feel, but it's not what I do. You get what I'm saying? So in a way, it's like looking at an equation without having myself in there. Even though they're my emotions, I'm not ignoring them. I'm observing them as if they weren't mine. And again, this isn't like me in my head every time I have an emotion. Okay, I need to distance myself. I need to analyze. I need to understand the emotion. It's just automatic. So once you start doing this, it'll become more natural. But I'm not the only one who says this. Dr. K also talks about a similar idea.
The first step to processing an emotion is when you feel an emotion, instead of just reacting to it, trying to overcome it, trying to numb it, ask yourself one question, which is, what is this emotion trying to tell me?
Emotions are motivative, right? They tell you certain things and they tell you what they want you to do. However, they aren't fully logical. They're very quick information. So it's important to not only feel these emotions, but think through them before acting upon them. Personally, what I do, and this isn't like I actively do this, but I guess I can conceptualize it for you. Imagine you have your emotions, I put them over here, right? And then I'm watching them. I'm like, okay, that's my emotions right there. But I'm not letting it cloud my judgment. You get what I'm saying? I observe what I feel, but I don't let those feelings over there observe my judgment up here. Dr. Mark Brackett was on Andrew Huberman's podcast because I was watching a couple of videos for preparation of this video, and he said something very similar that I related to a lot.
And I decided to use a distancing technique. I decided to make him into a movie. I decided that he was now a TV show. And that TV show was something I was observing and not feeling. And that has proven to be one of the most powerful strategies for me.
If you want to stop acting based upon emotion in the present, what you need to do is be able to observe your emotions as if they weren't yours. And I know this to be true because not only have I done this naturally, but people that actually have degrees and stuff say very similar techniques. Distancing yourself from this emotion is how you gain control. You might be thinking now oh, I can just cut myself off from my emotions and I'll be chilling. No, that's what numbing your emotions is. That's why we have problems with emotional control as men. This isn't numbing your emotions. This is just giving yourself space and giving yourself time to think things through. That way you can act more intelligently upon what you feel and what's going on around you. Numbing is when you just push your emotions down. It's what men do a lot. When we push our emotions down, we try to ignore them. By the way, we're talking about long-term emotion or emotion over a long period of time. And numbing them doesn't actually get rid of them. It only makes them dormant and stronger. So we shouldn't be doing that. Like I said, numbing your emotions doesn't actually solve the problem. Processing your emotions is how you solve the problem. It's when you not only give yourself time to feel these things and confront them, but understand them fully. What do they want me to do? What are they telling me? Things like that. If you feel anger or if you suppress anger for a long period of time, it's good not to, act upon it in the moment. However, you need to act upon it eventually. You need to confront it at some point. If you confront the emotions you've been suppressing for a long time and you actually try to confront them and understand them, then you will be able to control them. It isn't about trying to be perfect. It's about trying to do better. Something else that I thought was pretty interesting was on the Andrew Huberman podcast, same one I mentioned earlier, I had a clip of it. The doctor guy, Dr. Mark Brackett, I'm pretty sure his name was, he said something that I thought was pretty cool, which was if you expand your vocabulary of emotions, you can better express them, better understand them, and better treat them. If you're conflating stress and anxiety or whatever, right? Then if you think you're stressed, but you're actually anxious, you're treating it wrong. There's two different treatments. Like imagine you have the flu. One person has the flu, one person has cancer, right? Those are treated two different ways. So understanding how to actually express or put your emotions into words can help you understand them better. If you learn how to actually identify what emotions you're feeling, you can better handle those emotions. Something that Dr. Mark Brackett and Dr. K both mentioned is something called a mood meter or the mood meter. It's like a table of emotions ranked from high and low energy, and I'm pretty sure it's pleasure or unpleasurable. And what this is it's like a bunch, I mean, you see it on the screen. It's a bunch of emotions just kind of put down there and explained. And I got this app made by the Mark Brackett guy. I don't know where my phone is right now, but specifically Dr. Mark Brackett, he has an app where this is like a function. You can choose what emotion you're feeling. You can go through the catalog and see what you're feeling. It'll have like descriptions underneath it. It's called, I'll put it on screen what the name is. So that sounds interesting. Check it out. Like again, how we feel is what it's called. The last thing before we start reviewing everything in this video, I want to talk about how important it is that we have emotional control. Not only does improving your emotional control help yourself and your health, but also those around you. Like if you're going to become a parent or somebody that people look up to, you can not only help yourself, but also help them with their struggles or with their emotions. You'll be able to get not only yourself, but those around you out of bad situations. So many people make life-altering decisions just because they have a simple lack of emotional control. So we have to do better, right? Not just for ourselves, but for those around us. That's why emotional control is important. Okay, boom. Now, very quick review of the entire video. I'm going to read off a list because I don't want to memorize all this stuff, right? So first thing, men lack emotional control because we've been raised not to understand how to process our emotions. We need to be rational. We don't want emotions to cloud our judgment. However, we must also be able to feel and process them. In day-to-day life, it is good to practice distancing yourself from your emotions in the moment. Give yourself time to process them and act well on them. Third thing, overall, throughout life, you may suppress your emotions. However, in order to stay in control, you need to confront them, feel them, learn about them. What do they tell you? And what do they want? Then you will learn control. Then you will be in control. And finally, expand your vocabulary about emotions so that you can better understand and handle them. Search up the mood meter if you want to learn more about emotions, like what they mean, because some of them actually kind of shocked me. You know, you usually think about certain basic things, but there's actually different words for them. So try out the mood meter if it sounds interesting. But that's all I got. If you'd like to learn how to be saved, I have a video over here. If you'd like to learn how to start self-improvement, I have a video over here. My head started hurting when I was recording this, so maybe I sound a little weird. I just got off of being sick. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but yeah, thanks for watching, and praise God.